Okay, so let's put all this together. You've got California ruling that conceal and carry is not a right. You've got the FBI that's now going to be allowed to collect data on us via just a national security letter. We already know the whole warrant thing's a joke anyway. Hell, now retired judges can not even sign warrants and somebody sign their name and initial it. It's absurd. The judge was even retired. If it was the judge itself that signed it, it would be invalid because he's retired. But it happened. We already know that we can all be detained for any reason at any time without any explanation, without access to an attorney for an indefinite amount of time. We just went back over something that happened back in 2014, I think it said. Oh, it's right here in front of me. Hang on. 2014. 90-year-old man, veteran at that, arrested 3 times for feeding homeless people.
Yeah, and they wanted to make sure everybody was safe.
Yeah.
What kind of, yeah, because it's...
Well, I also heard once before that in other cities and stuff, because they want to keep count of the homeless people's calories. They wanted to be able to keep track of the calories.
Okay, so do they keep track of their calories?
Well, no. Apparently, homeless people should have 20 calories a day, and anything beyond that would just be just gluttony.
Oh my!
It's insane.
Oh my gosh! I'm going to get a tubal tomorrow.
It is insane. We can't raise our own children. We can't make the choices for our own children. We can't make our own choices. We've got the vaping industry. I know I've harped on this, but this is important to me, and not because I sell juice, but because I don't want to go back to tobacco. Man, I've tried everything. Vaping is the only way I could do it. I'm not alone. I mean, we've got some decent third-party candidates for the election. I've already made my promise. I'll make it again. I absolutely promise. I've already said that I was not going to vote. I wasn't going to waste my time. But I've made the promise that if Gary Johnson is even allowed into the debates, which, by the way, he qualifies to go, then I'll go vote for Gary Johnson. Other than that, I'll do what else I promised. If he's not allowed to debate, I'll spend my time much more effectively by counting each and every blade of grass here.
Okay.
I'll do it. Well, I might not make it to all the grass, but I promise I'll spend the day here counting the blades of grass. I will. Just to prove a point. I'm a man of principle. I'm a man of integrity. I'm a man of honesty. I'm a man of truth. And I am not much of a man at all unless I lead by example. We have got to unite. And like I said, it's got to be all of us. It's got to be citizens, it's got to be union workers, it's got to be non-union workers, it's got to be police officers, active military members, doctors. I don't count on attorneys and judges. We have got to unite. We have got to stop finding 5 million different labels for each and every person to be in, and then pointing our fingers telling them that that's not right. I should be able to tell you how to live.
I hate when people tell me how I am.
Homosexuals should be able to be homosexuals. It's none of my business what they do in their bedroom. I don't want them in my bedroom. Right? Same as somebody that wants to smoke a plant should be allowed to smoke a plant. Come on. This is 2016. I think by now we all know reefer madness was, well, madness. I mean, let's look at this. Just for a second. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but off the top of my head, I can't just name the number of states that marijuana is allowed medically. So, if they admit there's medical benefit to marijuana, then where's the question? Folks, we have had complete control taken from us. We're not allowed to know whether or not there's GMOs in our food. We're getting lied to about everything else to do with our food. Now I've been seeing propaganda about whether or not antibiotics are in our milk. I didn't think that was a question. I thought they pretty much just came right out and said that. Now there's propaganda out showing that there is not antibiotics in the milk. Oh, really? I suppose that our fish isn't irradiated either, huh? How about our water? Our water. How about the school's water for our children? The water issue has literally been an epidemic lately. Yeah, we can have a guy go out and rape a young woman and get 6 months. She was unconscious. She was unconscious. Really. And another guy's got what? What was that? 10 plants or something? He's got lifetime in prison. A lifetime in prison.
So what if you want to grow some?
For growing weed. Lifetime in prison.
Nobody who smokes
Who?
weed goes out and kills people.
Where's the victim? Let's talk about those two cases right there. Okay, there's an obvious victim in the rape case. Who's the victim in the marijuana case? I want to know. If the man that got charged with that wanted to face his accuser in court, wanted to face his victim in court, like he has the constitutional right to do, who would show up? Because the docket would have certainly said either the state that he lived in or the country, depending on what he was fined with, but I doubt you could fit everybody that lived in that state into the courtroom. And then let's talk about that. How come we're not allowed to talk about jury nullification? How come we're not allowed to discuss that? Why is that taboo? Maybe it's because it's the Achilles heel of their revenue generation system, of their control grid. All I'm saying is we got to talk. We got to turn off the TV. We got to put down the cell phone. We have to quit preoccupying our lives with happy things. Or maybe not even happy things, just things to keep us busy. We got to talk. All of us. Not just certain ones. All of us.